A good soup, day 43, Sinigang. Now the protein for this can vary. And for this one, I'm gonna be using one of my favorite cuts for this, and that is the pork back spare rib. This is actually Berkshire pork, really good stuff. But the way Auntie Lai showed me was with collars. Hamachi collars or salmon collars. That's how she showed me. It's really tasty. I love it. But I'm making some sinigang for some people today, and it's their first time having sinigang. So I want them to have it my favorite way, and that has to be with the pork back spare ribs. They're so nice. It releases all that collagen and makes a really nice broth. So that's my reason for doing this change up today. Now, why do I get all of this color on the pork? Why don't I just toss it into the pot and boil it? Because that's how Auntie Lai does it, and that's how most aunties do it. And look, don't tell her, but you get more flavor when you get more color on your protein because of something called the Maillard reaction. Okay, now that just might be a fancy word for saying I'm searing it at a high temperature, so I'm caramelizing the natural sugars in the protein, giving me like a more nutty, roasty flavor, and it's gonna give me a more complex flavor in my broth. I'm putting it into the pressure cooker and then using the fat left over. Fuck me, that's hot. And then I have the leftover fat from all this pork. This is all the standard mix that Auntie Lila showed me to use for sinigang, and it's very basic. And there's something here that you might think is not typical, but this is actually very typical for authentic sinigang. This stuff right here, the tamarind soup mix by Noor, this you will find in pretty much all Filipino households that make this stuff. I guarantee you, this is the authentic way. I've been shown time and time again. And you could go ahead and try to go all out and use like some fresh tamarind and do it up yourself. I'm sure it would be good, but this is just like the OG way that was shown to me. Even my great grandpa, who was Filipino, he would use this stuff, and I always loved the flavor of his pork. But this is the hit right here. If you can't find it, I'm sure you can find it on Amazon, but they have it at most of your grocery stores. I've got all this leftover fat that I can just toss right in because that is more flavor. And then of course I'll deglaze that same pan with some water and toss that in because more flavor. Now these are all the standards that I was shown. Tomato, scallion, onion, garlic. A lot of others could be different. Everyone has like their own way of doing things. We all know this. One really cool thing Auntie Lai showed me was the jalapeno. She puts the jalapeno in whole, and she says typically she'll do 1 jalapeno per person because this gets turned into a condiment at the end with some fish sauce, and it's so freaking delicious. It makes such a good sauce. I'm gonna be using some choy or broccoli rabe. I don't know yet, I'll decide at the end, but at the end it's usually just some sort of green, like some sort of green veggie. It's always good to put in at the end so it's not like really mushy. Now, why am I using this store-bought stock or broth? Well, the reason being is if I just do straight up water, it's not gonna be as flavorful. Now, that's not saying it won't be flavorful. I did get a lot of color on my bones, so it will make a nice flavorful broth, but if I have the stock, I can make it even nicer. Just use some extra bone broth and add it to what you're doing, and it's gonna be way better. Even if you are making yourself a stock, adding stock to that stock makes it better, if that makes sense. It's just a thing in restaurants because we're utilizing all the leftovers that we have for these dishes. Powder goes in. I always like to add some water to the empty packet just so I can get the rest of everything. Works every time, especially with macaroni packets. Now, why do I put my rice in a strainer? makes it easier. But the reason for rinsing the rice is actually so you can make it better texture. If you rinse your rice, it's gonna remove that starch, excess starch, so the rice won't clump together as much, and you're gonna have a much fluffier rice. And as you can tell, I'm rinsing my rice for quite a while here because I just wanna make sure that the water comes out clear. This part is completely up to you, but if you take your rice and you let it sit in the H2O for about 15 minutes or so, then you'll allow that grain to sort of sprout a touch, and it'll get actually a little thicker and more nutrient dense. Of course, fill it up to the first line on your pinky. Now, while the original sinigang usually takes long beans or water spinach, I myself am going for bok choy because it has a nice crunch and it looks nice. And the reason why I'm putting it in at the end is so it keeps that nice crunchiness and it's not like soggy and gross and weird. Here's when those jalapeños get taken out for the sauce. So just do your best to just try to fish them out. For the choy, I'm probably just gonna simmer it for maybe a minute and then turn off the heat just so it stays kind of crunchy. So jalapeños, they just get taken out one by one, and these are gonna be that condiment I was talking about that Auntie Lila showed me. It just gets chopped up nice and fine. In addition to the jalapeno, it gets a dash of fish sauce. I'm really liking this brand lately, by the way. It's called Sun. I usually do the red boat stuff, but this one's nice. And then some Aloha shoyu. And that is the little condiment. I kind of think of it like a Filipino mignonette or something. It just seems like that. Don't remember what day it is. I think we're on day 43. So I'm just gonna say this is day 43 of good soup. That was day 43. Let me know what you want for day 44.